Headhunters is the third episode of Gravity Falls. In it, Stan gets a wax statue of himself, but it loses its head, and it becomes a big mystery who did it. Shenanigans ensue as the mystery twins try to figure out the case. Beginning of the episode, Detective on TV sets up this as a whodunit story, and Zeus finds a room covered with wax statues, and Mabel makes one for Stan. The townspeople don't really care. Hey, it's that guy again. Why does he have Dipper's shoe? That's weird. This is the first appearance of Chandra Hernandez, the reporter. She's named after Sean Hernandez, the background artist. Toby Determined makes his first major appearance as the red herring of the story. Toby Determined is a play on To Be Determined, as in background characters to be determined. Blubs and Durlin make their first major appearance being the dumb cops of the story, and making fun of Dipper for being a city boy, which he really isn't a privileged city kid, but it is still kind of funny. This is the first appearance of Free Pizza Guy, who we'll see randomly in the background for the rest of the series. Also, I know a guy who looks just like this. Mabel outfit check. Other than her sleeping shirt, the only sweater of the episode she wears is this teal number with a strawberry on it. But at the end of the episode, we see her holding a sequence with sparkles on it and a llama hair sweater. A llama hair sweater will be one of the most famous and reoccurring sweaters of the series.
Sorry, but we don't serve minors.
This bouncer has the best tattoos. Dipper and Mabel's fake IDs say Sir Dipping Sauce, age 45, and Lady Mabelton, age 21. This biker's tattoo says bats, because originally it was supposed to say stabs, so they just flipped it around, because Disney didn't like that. Mabel befriending a biker is very similar to Christian Shaw's other similar character, Louise, in Bob's Burgers. The episode even came out the same year as that one. Mabel befriending a biker is supposedly somewhat based off of Ariel Hirsch, Alex's sister, being friendly with a biker when they were young. And in the commentary, it is revealed that originally the twins were going to split up, and Dipper got beat up by a bunch of kids when Mabel befriended bikers. The twist of the episode is the wax statues are all alive, and they were trying to axe down the real Stan for abandoning them. All the wax statues are famous people, or famous characters. Sherlock Holmes, played by John Oliver. Sherlock Holmes is a detective famous for Elementary, My Dear Watson. He is a character who's been adapted into more media than any other. Lizzie Borden is a person that acts down her parents. Groucho Marx is one of those guys you've probably seen but don't know the name of. He's in fact where the Groucho Marx mask comes from, being one of the most cartoonish ways to disguise herself. He's part of the Marx Brothers comedy group, and he's famous for having a big mustache, big nose, glasses, big eyebrows, and he holds a cigar, which the episode lampshades the fact that he can't show a cigar in kids' media.
I've heard about a cutting remark, but this is ridiculous. Hey, why is there nothing in my hand?
Queen Elizabeth II Windsor of Great Britain is one of the most famous monarchs in world history. Robin Hood is yet another famous literary character from the UK, much like Sherlock Holmes, who has been adapted into a billion things. Thomas Edison is the guy who supposedly invented the light bulb and used to have a monopoly over movies. Bob's Burgers also did an episode about him. William Shakespeare is a famous British writer. Edgar Allan Poe is a famous American Gothic writer. Genghis Khan conquered half of the world and put Mongolia on the map.
Ha! Genghis Khan, you fell harder than the, Jin Dynasty? Yeah, alright.
This references the Jin Dynasty, as well as the Song Dynasty, were the places in China that were conquered by the Mongol Empire. Coolio, who plays himself in the episode, is an American rapper. He's known for his weird hair, as well as being the guy who made Gangster's Paradise and the Kenan and Kel theme song. Larry Keane, who also plays himself in the episode, is an American talk show host. Most of the audience for Gravity Falls probably just know him as the guy from B-Movie. Richard Nixon is probably the most infamous US president. He's known for having very big jowls and talking in this weird accent. He also does this pose with his fingers extended. Nowadays we know this as the peace sign in America, but back then it was V for victory, until a bunch of hippies appropriated it to be peace. Alex Hirsch did an animated short forever ago about Richard Nixon being an imaginary friend, starring Billy West from Futurama doing his Nixon impression. It sounds very similar to the impression in this episode, but if it was Billy West, then he went uncredited, and accidentally melted US President Abraham Lincoln. The twins fight the statues off with candles.
You know any limericks?
There once was a dude from Kentucky.
Nope.
This is an example of Alex Hirsch versus censorship. For the 10th anniversary of the series, Alex revealed a bunch of notes that Disney executives sent him back to censor the show.
Limerick referencing "There once was a man from Kentucky." S&P is worried that unsavory rhymes could be gleaned from it.
Why? Man from Nantucket is the famous dirty rhyme, which is why I decided to avoid it altogether. To make your lives easier, I made up a totally new one, Man from Kentucky, which has the same lovely syllable structure, but no pre-invented ending. I can't even imagine a logical way to get fuck out of that. What would that even sound like? There once was a man from Kentucky who misspelled the word fuck and got fucky? That doesn't even make sense. More likely would be, there once was a man from Kentucky who spent hours with his pet rubber ducky. The duck got away. It was such a sad day. It turns out Kentucky's unlucky. There. Who's to say how this made-up poem ends? How could anyone complain about something that's only in their heads?
S&P still feels that fucky would come from ducky.
Who should I call to have this conversation personally?
Our secret code is "He's still in the vents," referring to Larry Keene's head, which survived in the vents.
Hey, Dipper, what do you think is better, sequins or llama hair?
The llama hair. Llamas are nature's greatest warriors.
This line, which will be oddly relevant later, was actually just added by Alex Hirsch just to see if Larry Keene will read it. But either way, this is the first great episode of Gravity Falls. The mystery's handled well, and I honestly didn't see the twist coming. The episode's funny, it's great seeing the characters solidify so early, with Dipper and Mabel already being co-main characters. There really isn't a whole lot to dislike about this episode. 8.5 out of 10.
They got scalded!